You are going to get in a group, not yet. And I am going to give you data of all the GPAs of all the students in both of my AP Stat classes. They are not written by name. I have taken them from both groups, put them together, and then like mixed them up for like 10 minutes straight. So like there's no rhyme or reason to the numbers that are written on the paper on purpose. So you have to decide to test something. And that's as much as I'm going to tell you with what you have to test. So that part is like entirely up to your group with what do you want to test and how, and what do you think you're going to test. GPA, like, I'll talk about that more. Yeah. So I'm not going to tell you what to test. Like you get to come up with a test, and there's not a right or wrong answer. It's just think through something that makes sense. You're going to end up talking about an alpha level. If there's anything that you need to consider there, how many people you select for your sample, explain why you conducted your process of actually sampling. So like I want to see how did you actually do the sample kind of written there. You're going to actually do the 4th step on a separate sheet of notebook paper. You're going to interpret your p-value in context, explain type 1 and type 2 error in context. I am not asking you to do consequences because you're probably not going to be doing a test for anything that would make sense to have consequences. Like if you're wrong, then so what? So we're not doing something that deals with consequences right now. And then are your results statistically significant? Why or why not? And to what group can your results be applied? Do you understand with just what I'm requiring of you? I'm going to print this out for you. But so what's important is I have 51 AP Stat students. GPA of 51 Leonard AP Stat students. That's what I'm giving you. I am not going to physically give you any of the data until you know what you want to test. Because if you got to look at it all and see what they were, it's called data snooping, and you're basically trying to make a test based off of what you think it's going to be because you've already seen them. So not that you should be completely unaware to things, but I don't want you to see the numbers until you actually know what you want to test. I don't care if your test passes or fails, like you reject it or fail to reject it. Like that's not what concerns me. It's the process and the thought process through it. So you get to decide, and I was at one point going to give you another piece of information to use as your null hypothesis, but I like leaving that generic too. But I will give the hint that you can possibly find something online to use as your null hypothesis. And I'm fine with that. And even if you all do look online, you might get different answers. Just tell me where you got it from. But you might not look anywhere to decide what your null hypothesis is. Part of things that might inspire your decision is what kind of students are in these classes versus who else. Another thing to consider is we were having a conversation actually in our faculty meeting that some people are trying to argue that we are one of the most inclusive schools as far as AP program. Like some schools, like only the most elite are allowed to take AP classes, as opposed to some other schools where they'll literally put anybody in an AP class. So you might consider an aspect of that. Again, I do not care. I just want to see that you can think through a situation to think that you can apply a test to it. Any questions about that part of it? Because that's what I'm going to be the most vague about. And it might be just that your group talks a little bit and then come ask me something, and that's fine. Questions? Yes?
I don't know if it will affect anything, but are you giving us weighted or unweighted GPAs?
I have no idea. Whatever was on Power School. They're up to like 5.8 something, so I would imagine they're weighted. Yes, but that is a good question to ask. Yes, so weighted. You can be in groups of up to 4. You're going to turn in one assignment from each group as a quiz grade. It shouldn't be that hard to do well on. You've got all your notes. You've got each other. I'm letting you get in groups of 4. I just want to know that you can get through it. But this isn't the only assignment for today. There'll be a review assignment afterwards, so don't spend an hour trying to do this. It probably shouldn't take that long. So to start, this is this sheet that I just showed you up here about what the questions are. You only need one of these per group. So once you know who your group is, grab one of these and then go away. I need to see, and I'm not going to be looking at them. I need to see that you have answered A through C, or at least A and C, before you come get the data from me, so that I see you've thought about it before I hand you the numbers. Questions? Okay, ready?